Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Superficial Spirit and another edition of the O Files. We are bringing an iconic club back to life, not through nostalgia, well, a little bit of nostalgia, but through the people who made it what it was. And my guest today, Robyn Graves, drag queen, performer, and part of the heartbeat of a scene that shaped a generation, honey. We're talking about nights out that turned into legends and art and rebellion that lived on through dance floors and why those stories still matter now. Let the doors open. Hi, Robyn.
Well, hello. How are you,
How you
Doc?
feeling?
I'm all right.
I yeah. I'm so glad you are gracing me with your presence. I know I've been prodding you for a while to come on the show, and you finally said yes on this fine Saturday afternoon, not morning anymore.
No, I've been up for a little while. I had been out last night for a couple aperitifs, shall we say?
Okay,
And
okay. How was that?
oh, it was fine. I actually was out with the lovely Carlotta girl last night. She,
What?
yes, she made an appearance
Okay.
on the Davie Strip, and yeah, it was good.
That listen, I talked to her recently, as you know,
hmm
and she was like, "Oh no, don't go out anymore, girl. I'm always at home, girl." Apparently not.
Well, yeah, she had just finished a private gig in Kitsilano, so she thought she'd meet up with me because usually on Fridays I tend to have some friends over. I live right on Burnaby Street, so I just look out my window right now and see the pump jack. So,
Oh, oh
man,
my God, dangerous, dangerous. I
it is.
don't know if I could handle the temptation. Where did you and Carlotta go last night? What did you get up
Oh,
to?
we just met her at PJ. So she just rolled in there, honey, with her big long blonde hair on and did what she does best.
I feel like I've never seen Carlotta in the pump jack.
Yeah, no, we both of us in drag, we go there quite a bit, but yeah, she doesn't really go to many of the clubs. It's mostly private engagements and parties and stuff that she does, and
Yeah,
out in
yeah.
Langley and all that stuff. So yeah, but that was
Oh, no,
important.
thank you. I think I ran into you when I moved back at the pump jack very briefly. I was in and out. I was feeling, up. I was high, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And I was like, "Hi." We talked very briefly, but I hadn't seen you in a long time.
Well, usually when I'm there too, I'm usually like I've been pre-gaming basically for like 3 hours at my place, and by the time I get there, I just need one because I'm like people see me and go, "Girl, last night, honey." Yeah.
Oh my God, the anxiety, the
Yeah.
next day anxiety.
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved to Vancouver and I would walk by Pump Jack like middle of the day and there was guys drinking and I was like, "Oh my God, it's so weird that people go like during the day and drink." And now I'm like, this is an amazing thing that people do. Like if you are at the Pump Jack and that's where your friends go, it's like kind of always open. And I understand it more now that you want to go to be part of the community, but you don't need to be out till 3 a.m. like,
No.
with the twinks at numbers.
No. No, absolutely not. And I venture in there, like I said, I do my once a week appearance. That's usually for about an hour and a half on a Friday night. Like last night I was like, I gotta get out of here. It was like 1:30. So I was home and in bed
Nice.
too, but I was still up this morning at like 8:30, and you know, I didn't want to be like ruined for this lovely experience. I mean,
Yes, well, I appreciate it. I mean, that's a good place to start. I mean, before we obviously we're going to talk about the Odyssey.
yeah.
Um, but one thing that I'm always curious about is like how people like us who are a part of nightlife, how you stay connected but stay balanced in a way. Like it was such a big part of my life, but man, it took me a long time not to just have one drink and go on a bender. So I've been like learning how to do that. How have you found that
I
transition?
well, I think it's just nature, right? As you get older, like I'm gonna be 55 this year, summer, and
Nice. She
yeah.
looks
So
good.
thank you, thanks. But like, you may feel good and everything, but then again, I heard an expression where it says, after 50, your body starts to keep the receipts, right? So it's like, oh, you can't just go out and behave like. I mean, imagine how if I was still doing that at this age, going out
Yeah.
6, 7, 8 nights in a row, right? Like I used to do it in my 20s. No, I'm home now. I'm quite content with my own company. I do video games. I read books. I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock,
Nice.
girl. I'm in bed. I love it.
Yeah. I'm like I messaged you this morning at like 7:30. I had
Yeah,
already been awake for a while. I also go to bed early. I didn't realize I was a morning person until I stopped partying, and I was like, "Oh my
right.
God, I'm such like a yeah, morning time, but partying every night basically you don't get to
Well, we
enjoy
back
Sunday
then
morning ever."
we were morning people then too, honey. I mean, we just went to bed in the morning. Like,
We saw the morning definitely just through different eyes.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, I enjoy that too. I enjoy the quietness, like at 5:30 in the morning, like especially downtown. It's for once it's quiet, right? And I just like
Yeah.
have my coffee, watch that sun come up, and
Oh, that's
hey,
so
not today,
nice.
but
I know, it's pretty shitty.
miserable.
It was a nice week, but yeah, the rain is
Yeah.
back. So Odyssey.
Yes.
When I say like when you know you're coming in to talk about this today, what comes to mind when somebody brings up the Odyssey?
Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
Um, just I don't know. I would say carefreeness, abandonment, like just I moved here in this month marks 30 years that I moved to Vancouver.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved here in 96. So I came here about 3 years after Carl did. And prior to moving here, I had moved from Thunder Bay, Ontario. That's where I hail from.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I had access to Extra West. Remember that used to be a newspaper that people would read.
Oh, I remember because I was on the cover, honey.
Yeah, so I had access to those, and I would see ads for the Odyssey. I'd see pictures of Joni. I'd see and I'm like, this is the bar that I'm gonna go to, and I'm gonna throw on my best little Susie Shear crushed velvet dress, honey, and I'm gonna
Oh,
city. Like I imagine the gumption to have at that age, right? Like it's
how
crazy.
old were you in
I was
96?
24.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
It's
big and
it's
bald.
weird to it's just weird to think that now we're all so connected, but like first of all, Extra West has come up in a lot of my conversations when I'm talking to like people in the community as a light to Vancouver because they're in their small city and they see something and we lived when I first saw Extra West. I mean, maybe it was in Calgary when I was growing up, but I only remember it in Vancouver. So to be in Thunder Bay or like Carlotta didn't have it, but some of the other guys who were like sprinkled throughout, it really did show you like
Hmm.
what Vancouver was. And obviously, I relate to being 24 and I can do anything. And also you seeing Joni because I pair like you, Carlotta, Joan, that whole drag era is all one in my mind. So it's interesting to hear you say you saw it and then you like became a part of it.
Yeah, it's so weird, and what I find still to this date, even though Joni and myself have been friends for, like I said, almost 30 years, the dynamics are still the same between me and like I feel between me and her. I still feel like the young, quiet kind of, and that I'm in the presence of, you know what I mean? It's all
Uh-huh.
like when I'm around her, it's like when you go home to see your parents, you feel like you're 15, right? You get treated, not that she treats me like that, but it's just that odd feeling, like that dynamic, and that's how I still feel to this date. I feel like one of the new girls, Joni and them.
I mean, I think that's good. I feel Joni is one of those people in the community. Probably everybody feels like that around. She was obviously a pillar to you, obviously for me and my friends. So there would have to be even older people than Joni who would be like, Joan looks up to, but I might not know who those queens are, actually.
Right. And some of them are still around, and then some, unfortunately, have left us, and that's just how life works. But yeah, I feel a little bummed out because, as you know, she's leaving Vancouver. Um,
What?
yes,
Did
she
she post that? Oh my
um
God.
had some stuff posted for a little bit on Facebook. I don't know how much you're on Facebook, but yeah,
I
she
am.
is
Oh my
moving
God.
to Edinburgh.
What?
I know. Yeah.
The fuck?
She, she went off last summer, if you recall, for a few months, to Europe, and she just fell in love over there, and so
Fell in love with a person or the
no,
place?
fell in love with being like in
Okay.
Europe, that whole, and it's like, yeah, she's our at my age, just uprooting and doing something. I say, good for her.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you feel like this, but I just turned 40.
Mm.
I actually feel like 40 was easier than 30. But
Yes.
one thing for me, like, I wanted to release a new song, which I did,
Hmm.
but you have to like mentally juggle with like, okay, I'm not relevant. I'm too old. Where am I going to go? Nobody cares. All of that stuff. And if I didn't release a song, it would have been so bad for my confidence, for my creativity. Once I crossed that line, I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, I'm going to be Madonna at 80 releasing songs that one person listens to. That's fine by me, Hetty. But for Joan to do that, I get it. I don't know if I personally would, but who knows? Like, life calls. You got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So I cheer her on. I'm her biggest cheerleader. So I wish her all the best.
She still needs to come on the show. I keep asking her.
Ah,
Maybe that's why she's like, I got a lot going on. I'm gonna keep sending her the episodes. So you're in Thunder Bay. You're seeing Extra West.
yeah,
You're hearing all about this club. Do you remember the first time you went to the Odyssey?
absolutely, 100%. 100%. I moved here with my partner at the time. We were living with his brother's family in Guildford, and we had to drive into the city. And we had made some friends locally, like in the West End, enough that I was able to get done up into drag and go to the Odyssey. And it was a Sunday night. I remember going into those front doors, having to, pay your cover or whatever, which I think was probably the first and last time I ever paid cover at the. I was wearing this brown bob with a headband. God.
I mean, you liked your headbands. Didn't
Back,
you have like
I did. I had this really odd. I really liked kitschy 60s. I like
60s?
go-go
Yeah.
boots and
Yes.
beehives, and I did numbers by like Karen Carpenter and like I don't know what the hell, but
That's how I remember you. Yeah, 60s, totally.
so I walk into the Odyssey, and there on the stage is Joan, Justine, Diana Rose, of course. They're in like these like military suit I think they're doing like some sort of Andrew type number, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be on that stage, and I was terrified, like you're so nervous because you're seeing these people
Yeah.
in newspapers, and they're like right there. And yeah, it was a trip, like.
I'm surprised that you went like you were arrived in Vancouver in as like you went to the Odyssey in drag, like Robyn was already a thing. Because
Yeah.
Carlotta was like not yet, she claims, doing the full drag thing yet. But you knew I'm a drag queen. I want to perform. That was
Well,
already fully formed.
yeah, so I had been doing drag, if you can imagine, in Thunder Bay, Ontario, shores of Lake Superior in 1992, 93.
Oh,
So you can imagine, like, me in, like, some little tiny dress and, like, Sorel snow boots, climbing over a snowbank to get into the club that me and my two friends who formed with. Also, sidebar, we have a mutual friend, Mike
mm-hmm.
Court, and
Oh, Miss
our
Michael.
of girlies. So
Okay, I know. Well, I know that Michael is from Thunder Bay. Yes, and I know that's where he had his club kid era, right?
Yeah, he went by Hot Girl.
Right, and he wore diapers to the club. That was one of his looks, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, maybe. Maybe under his outfit. But
Oh, he's gonna like this episode.
yeah,
Yes.
you know,
Okay.
and yeah, we used to have a good time in Thunder Bay. But yeah, so I had already been doing drag, and I just, I thought I was the hottest shit in town, right? And I'm gonna move to Vancouver, and I'm just gonna right.
Yeah.
It was a little different, when I got.
Well, what happened? So you go to the Odyssey and you see the show. Did you go up to them after and say, "Hi, I'm Robyn"?
I didn't really talk to them at the time. I was also, I think, after my first venture into the Odyssey, I also started hanging out at celebrities quite a bit. And Willie Taylor had a show there. And I was ballsy. He worked the door on the nights that he wasn't doing a show. Can you imagine?
Oh
Crazy to me when you're thinking about this now.
my God.
Drag, and I went up to him and I was like, Willie, I'd love to, do a number in your show. And Willie was like, guess what? Come on down and do a show, and I ain't gonna pay you, but you can do a number. If I like you, I'll invite you back. So I started doing a lot of drag at celebrities. They were two
Mm.
big rivals, right? And then if I can remember correctly, I think I kind of just got poached away from celebrities to come and do um, their new Wednesday night show, which
Uh-huh.
we spoke about.
Yes, yes. I want to know that tea. Oh, this is weird. By the time I moved to Vancouver, celebrities had no drag shows. So that's 2006.
Wow.
All the drag, I mean, there was drag at celebrities sometimes,
Yeah,
but there was no, maybe drag bingo, that's it. But the Odyssey was the
that was
drag shows.
town at that point, right? Like it was crazy that like Carlotta probably mentioned, like there was something going on every night in the city at a different venue. So I mean, like, speaking about celebrities and not having drag shows, I remember I used to be a regular at Michael Venus's party, Planet Fag. I mean,
Good name.
I know.
Oh my God, I've never heard that.
Light shows, right? You would get up on one of the platforms, go-go booths, and you do a number, and they would just walk around and host and look gorgeous as they always do, right? And yeah, but so that's when I think it was like 98. I won. They had their first Miss Odyssey contest, and I won it.
Oh my God. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
Um, well, I really wanted to win it because $500, girl, back then was a lot of money.
Oh, that's like $1 million, baby.
That was rent.
Yeah, probably.
Not anymore. But
Yeah.
I remember I made it to the finals. They milked it and had it over a course of a couple of weeks or something, right? They always. And it came down to me and two T girls. And if I can remember I remember was they were both gorgeous. Like I love
Hmm.
Dominique, I think was one of the girls, and Isis was the other girl. I don't. That's neither here nor there. It was a really heated competition, and we had swimwear. That was like, oh my God, I'm gonna lose in
What?
two T girls, right? And I came out in, the most preposterous, like I came out with a huge like fishing net on me with seaweed on it, and like it was just preposterous, right? And I remember Joni pulling me aside because we were friends by that time. She's like, listen, bitch, if you want to win this competition, you're going to have to get out there. And I think she said, moon the crowd.
What?
I know. And I was up there on that
Joan?
stage where the people would dance,
Yeah.
right? I think, yeah, I got up there and I just dropped trowel right in front of entire Odyssey audience. It was, and then I won.
So, were you performing when you dropped Trow and Mood the crowd?
I think I was doing maybe some Sunday spots by then.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not
Wow.
sure though, Peter, 100% if that coincided along with what was going on Wednesdays at the Odyssey when I was
Mhm.
with Willie and Justine, but I don't think so. I don't think they would have had a current cast member competing for the title of.
It's a huge thing. I mean, even now, Tommy does Vancouver's Next Drag Superstar. It's
Yeah,
it's it's a huge. It's such a fast way to, even if you're already kind of known in the scene, to like get that seal of approval. Like, not only am I already performing, but like I'm good or I'm the best in this competition.
yeah. I mean, for years, like the Odyssey was just like my second home, like our third place, as they like to use that expression. Like I
Yeah,
pretty much 5 or 6 nights a week, I was at that place.
yeah. And were you say like, wait, first of all, what's our third place? What's that? I've never heard
It's
that.
like you have your work,
Yeah.
your home, and then a third place is just that place where you go and you convene, be with other people. So, for example, in
This is
the mall, right? That was people's third place. You could go with your friends and hang. So that's what the Odyssey was for us.
I
It really was a family.
I want to hear more about that because something I have a hard time articulating to random people. Like I'm at a party and somebody's talking about their crazy 20s and it's like, "What's the craziest bar you've ever been to?" And I'm like, "First of all, we don't have the time to talk about all my crazy parties, honey." But I try and like talk about the Odyssey, and it's what you just said. It's that third place. It's more than a bar for sure, which is why I'm doing these episodes.
Yeah.
It has such an emotional impact on the people there. So, what did you do when you were there 5, 6 nights a week? Why did you love it so much? Describe the feeling and what kind of music you were hearing and the people you were with.
Well, first of all, there was that smell. Like when you walk
Oh, bleach.
there, sure, let's go with. Um, but it was where all of my friends and doing drag. It's where that's where all your sisters were, and it was where we met people. Like again, like I it sounds like we're ancient, but I mean there was no grinder, there was no scruff, there. And honestly, I'll be honest. I think I got laid more pre apps than I am. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how
So
it's just crazy
so what were you going to say? It's crazy what?
that it has changed so much,
Yeah.
and
So
much
you
of it can be blamed on the invention of these goddamn these apps. They're a night.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. With was the Odyssey cruisy then back then? Like
Oh
was
my
it a place you would
yeah.
go to hook up?
So absolutely 100% it was. Like that's people would lurk around. Do you remember the layout? There was the back patio, right? And then there was that walkway. And people would
Yeah.
lurk around in that area, lean up against that, inside the bar. That was more like the cruisy area. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of places to be cruisy because it was such a small space and so much of it was dedicated to the dance floor. But I mean, Joan used to laugh at us because back then, like, if you did drag, you were kind of like looked down on a lot by the gays, right? And it was very hard to date because no one wanted to be like everyone wanted to like laugh and party and drink and have a good time with you and watch you on stage, but no one wanted to, take you to bed or
Yeah. I mean, I remember growing up and feeling that way about drag queens. They definitely weren't sexualized. And then Drag Race came along and there were like young, hot boys, and you saw them out of drag and in drag. And I think people were able to like separate it a little bit more. But I remember very clearly when drag queens, like it became more acceptable, I guess is the word, to like date or even like openly be like, I want to fuck that drag queen. It
yeah,
wasn't like that when I was growing up, but
no,
it did change at some point.
I we can attribute that on most definitely to RuPaul's Drag Race. right? Because of that whole reality TV celebrity type thing, right? So, but I mean, we would. I know I did it. I wasn't the only one to do it. We would do our show at the Odyssey, and we would always bring our boy clothes with us because we'd go upstairs to the staff camp and we would get out of drag, right? Wanted to like go downstairs and be able to maybe pull at the end of the night. And Joni would laugh at us because she'd be like, "Girl, you ain't fooling anyone with all that eyeliner smeared under your eye." You know what I mean? That fresh. We were it, and it was like, no, no, girl, you're not. Like, go home.
So the back patio is where the drug dealers would stand. Like that's where you're talking about, right? Like that back corner near the
Oh, what
ATM
you're
kind
talking.
of. Yeah, I've never done a drug in my life, buddy.
Yeah, there was that little walkway, like inside.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, inside. So would people hook up in that area or just find the guy and then go somewhere?
yeah, they would definitely find him, and I mean,
Okay.
nothing. I never really, in all my years there, saw anything going on like
Okay.
wise or anything. Maybe a little rendezvous in a stall, perhaps. Like
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. It was like cruising culture, I feel like was not okay.
it wasn't
There's
meant
two things.
that place. Let's just put it that way. Like,
Okay. I like even the club in general, I don't remember that being a part of it. Probably Pump Jack more. I
yeah,
feel like that's coming back now. I don't know if you've noticed it, but a lot of the children, honey, they're throwing these big dance slash sex parties. It's like
with the
it's
back.
so embedded.
Yeah, yeah, good. I say, and they do these events at Pump Jack now where they cordon off the back area, right? Where they have leather nights or nude nights, and I'm like, have at it.
Totally. I'm too prudish for that, but you tell me about it after, honey.
Nope, no, I'm not gonna be walking.
What? So we're talking about the late '90s, which is like Spice Girls,
Yep.
Britney, but also like Hole, Nirvana. Um, when you would like go out dancing, what was the music like? Like what are the songs that come to mind back then?
Well, we had DJ Jules, who was like
Yes.
the heart of the Odyssey, and I would remember. God, I remember after every Feather Boa show, at least in the early, when I was there in the '90s, the big song that he would play to open the floor up was a "Beautiful Life" by Ace of Base.
Oh, good song.
Yeah, so that one was
Ah,
always pumping. But I mean, there was Ultra Naté, you know,
uh-huh.
Crystal Water. I mean, it was
Oh,
just
Crystal Waters, yep.
all of it. It was just all of it was just so good. Like
Yeah.
we just didn't know what we had back then, right? Like, I,
No, I mean now I'm old enough that it's like Y2K is a like to me when I was 18, we would like wear leg warmers and be like, "Oh, the 80s, like we're making them cool again." And then now like people who are 20, they're like, "Oh, 90s, like Avril Lavigne, like that look is to them like cool and niche again." And I'm like, "I was wearing that in high school, bitch." So,
I know it's scary to hear people whose date of birth is like 2000
2000?
something. And you're like,
Oh yeah. I just interviewed some of the kids from Canada Shore and it was like, yeah, it was pretty hard. Woo. Not a lot going on upstairs for those folks.
I don't know what we can attribute that to. It's this with all this technology we have, and with a phone in our pocket that's basically a supercomputer. I just find people are just getting dumber and dumber. Like
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
curiosity. No, I don't know what it is. It's just bizarre. But
It's maybe too much access to information and you're not like
road maybe.
out like I had to we had to go to the bar and like learn about ourselves, hook up. So you mentioned that
Yeah.
you would hook up more before apps and I think it's because you're out and you're meeting people and it's
Yes.
less about like trying to pick the perfect picture and more about a vibe. So I don't know. Do you feel like back then it's less about a type of guy and more about you're out and you meet someone and you got the vibe versus like, I want to fuck a twink, I want to fuck a bear, I want to fuck a whatever?
Just whoever happened to tickle your fancy that day, or and you know, and then there, like I said, there was plenty of places to go. Like I said, Odyssey, not necessarily very cruisy. You know, where was cruisy though back then? Down at the old beach, honey. Like you
The
down.
actual beach?
Yes. So you know the old what is it? The aqua. Um, what's the swimming?
Aqua Center.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
So
right by English Bay?
yeah, all of no, not English Bay, Sunset Beach,
Oh, that thing.
Burrard Street Bridge. You
Aha.
one would go there after the bars closed because the bars closed back then. The bars closed at 1, I believe, on a Sunday, and I think 2 during the week. And you would go down there after the bars closed, and it would just be teeming with guys, just all
Ugh.
around. Like it was insane, Peter. It was
Ugh. That's like the movies of gay culture, like cruising under a bridge. Like I know people still cruise now. We got sniffies and people are going to like the bathrooms and stuff. But back then, late 90s, early 2000s, what was it like to be a gay man and a drag queen in Vancouver?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, like I said, I mean, when I was out being me, like just as Kevin, I would not try and bring up the fact that I did drag. You know, when I would meet someone, that was like not, it was a secret, right? And that's just how it had to be.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was it like gay people too, or just straight people you wouldn't
No,
tell them? Or any
it's gay people. I didn't care about straight people because I wasn't trying to sleep with straight people. Like, you need
Wow.
quiet, like, because nobody was down with that back then.
So what would happen if you met somebody and then they saw you out? Like you had hooked up with them and then you were in face.
They would likely not recognize you. Honestly, like they wouldn't recognize you. My painting skills were that good. No.
Honey, she's an
uh,
illusionist.
delusion was more like. But yeah,
Relatable.
you had it had to be all very covert, like.
Yeah.
But people still know me now, though, like as Robyn. Like that's not going to go. But the younger people have no clue, right? So because I'm not
Yeah.
really.
I was gonna ask, do you what gets you into drag these days to do a show?
Nothing. I think the last, honestly, was a collaboration at the Commodore for the coronation, and that was, I think, that'll be 3 years ago this March. So that was the last I was in it. I don't have makeup anymore. I don't have. Well, I do have some clothes and stuff, but that's all in the basement and storage. Like, there's nothing. I. It's weird. It was such a huge part of my life for so long. Like I lived, breathed, and ate drag, right? Like, and now I'm like, it's like it didn't even
Wow.
weird.
Did that happen naturally or did was there like a switch one day?
I think it just evolved naturally. The less I did it, the less keen I was to do it. Don't get me wrong. Like, if anyone could look into my windows, I'm on the 18th floor. No one can really see in. You can catch me prancing around thinking because I honestly I love being on stage. I love performing and I love making people laugh. I love being the center of attention. But
Mm-hmm.
like I would walk into a room with Carlotta and or you know and they would just have this presence, this energy, and I would just kind of be like, I'd kind of quietly be in the background. I don't know. I just never liked to. I would rather blend in than stand out. On stage, completely different. I don't know. I can't explain.
I yeah, I didn't know that about you. I've heard other performers say that. I'm shy, but I can pretend I'm not. Mostly at a bar for sure, like
Oh,
around. Yeah,
you can.
it's a role. Yeah, you step into it. Definitely like things I would do on stage. yeah, you're like stepping into it. Drag is so different too, though. But like when you're in drag and you come into a space, yeah, it's I can imagine people are looking at you and you're like, I'm shy even though I'm dressed up. I don't want to do it, but you're by default bringing attention to yourself.
Right. But it was also, it's a mask, right? You might as well just be wearing a mask. No one can recognize,
Yeah.
no one can associate this with you. I've often thought, like, when you just asked about what gets you out to do drag or whatever. Honestly, I think to myself, if I were to get into drag, I don't know if I could just walk out of my apartment down the street, right? Because that's how I would just walk to my gigs, right? I would do that all the time in full drag, not think anything of it. I don't know if I could do that now.
Why? Like, what do you
I don't
mean?
know if I would feel so. I don't know if I would just feel self conscious or self aware, like, and also the vibe now around drag queens and it's it's not going in a direction that we would think it should be going, right? So it's different now. It's weird to say that I felt safer walking the streets in the West End in the Davie Village in the 90s than I would now.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, tell me more about that. Like, what have you noticed? What are the
It's
differences?
just, I don't know. It's like the neighborhood isn't as, and I again we can attribute this to that, to the lack of spaces. It was very gay in the 90s. The neighborhood, there was just more gay people that lived, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think we're kind of clinging to that still, right? The gay neighborhood, but I don't know. Like, I live in a building, you might know, that was notoriously known as the Stack of Fags. It's this big high rise.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many gay people in this building anymore. As much, I would say
Hmm.
70% of the people that used to live in this building were LGBTQ, and it's not that anymore.
Yeah, this is interesting. This is it the Odyssey kind of brings up this passing of time and like
Mhm.
for me nostalgia. Like I always go back to that in my mind, but I never thought about the village in that way. But recently, like when I have gone out, I find myself thinking when I'm walking through the neighborhood, did that young straight couple know that they were moving to the West End and that it was the gay village? Is that even a thing anymore? Because you're right. When I lived there, so let's see, 2008 to 2011, it was very, very gay. Every once in a while, there'd be like a straight guy, and you're like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like, this is so crazy. But I guess when you're talking, I'm thinking a few things like, do we need the village like we did back then? Or are young gays like, I don't need to be around gays? Like, what do you think about that?
I don't know if it's just my mindset because of when I came up in the early 90s. Um, I know there's some that is like, oh, we like to be inclusive, and we want to be, I want to be able to. We should be able to just go into any bar and be ourselves. And but it's like, on the other hand, yeah, okay, that's a lovely idea in theory, but you know what? I don't I don't want to be out in a space that's mixed. I want to just be around other gay men. I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
all the time, certainly. But I mean, we need to have our spaces just as, and I guess that's gotten a lot of pushback over because, they say, we're diversity. Well, I don't have any concerns as far as that goes. I mean, I can see how that, and I'm not a fan of that either because it's like, oh God, see all these people all look the same, all fucking, you know what I mean? Y'all,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just, I think it is important to have these spaces and these communities. I really do, more
Yeah.
than ever. I don't want to have us all displaced and dispersed all among, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like that cohesiveness. I,
I I get it. When I didn't realize how important that was until I left Vancouver, actually. We went to Kelowna, we went to Toronto, and then when I came back, just being in the city and, people like you who I didn't really talk to that often, knew seeing those familiar faces on Davie Street and just feeling like I was part of something because I spent my 20s here was so important for my self-discovery and the way that I became like a full-grown adult. And I agree with you that there was a shift where when I was partying in my 20s, gay, white, twinks, we were like, honey, we were it was all for us. Like everything, the it was very much catered to our experience. And I loved it, obviously. And then we went to a place where there's a lot of pushback with like white gay men because even though we were part of the gay community, we were still like, I guess our voice and our experiences were like not as important for whatever reason. And because of that, we lost in a way that pride or like the confidence to be like, I just want to be around gay guys. Like that shouldn't be an issue. But I have heard this from lots of my friends privately, maybe not on social media, but there's a reason why people gravitate towards people that are like them. It's we have a shared experience. We have sex the same way. We love pop girls the same way. We do the same drugs. We understand cruising cult. There's so much that goes into why gay men can just vibe. But yeah, once you break that and younger people don't know or don't think they need it, it's hard because you end up being the older generation who's like, no, you need to like, it's important, it's important. And it's like, they're they're not there. They're somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's weird for people my age because we're that generation because AIDS in the late 80s or early 80s decimated an entire generation of people that never aged out, right? So now we're that young group after or now, right? So there's a lot more older gay men than there were, say, in
Oh my God, true.
thousands. So
That is so true. I mean, I talked a little bit about this to Carlotta, but now when I'm thinking about back then going to bars, there wasn't old people. Like 50 was old, right? Like there was nobody.
tell me
Sorry,
about
girl.
I know. You're not wrong.
You know what I mean? It's like there is that generational gap. So there was nobody like, you need to, this is important. Any other culture in the world, you have your elders that are like telling you, this is why we do things. This is why we do go to the places we do, say the things we do. These are our rituals. That's why the pump jack is our ritual. That's why we all go there on Sundays. We go see our people. We're not even necessarily there to get fucked up, but like
Oh,
you need a space. Odyssey was that for so many of us, even for me when I was in my early 20s. Um, I was, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like that third space thing is still sticking with me because it resonates a lot that we would just go there for a plethora of reasons besides getting fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even go there necessarily to get drunk and all right, it's just to be around my friends and to see my friends. And if I didn't go, I felt like I was missing out, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's just weird how like I often think back to the obviously like the city was much smaller back then. Ergo, we had a much smaller gay community, right? But yet we had so many choices and venues to go to. And now we're down to four.
I was so surprised when Carlotta listed all of those places that she would go to. I'm like, holy fuck, there were so many that I had never heard of.
They weren't limited to Davie Street. This was Yale Town and like heading down towards, Seymour and that whole area. Like it was a hoot in the night. And the fact that I was able to be around and to go to the Odyssey in its heyday, um, is awesome. I it's funny because it's like for as much as we loved going to the Odyssey, we spent so much time in that back. Like I think of it as the dungeon basement at Studio 54, where
Oh.
and Andy Warhol would be like, it would be just this dingy, horrible, and that was us in the back behind a curtain, and that's where it all happened, and everyone would want to come back there, but and we were like, it was crazy.
Oh, it was it was truly like VIP, but not the pretentious
Right.
kind, like flashy. Because those places where the VIP people were not like glamorous. They were just behind a curtain or behind the
Yeah.
door or like downstairs. Yeah, it was dirty. It was nasty.
It was VIP because of the people that were in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Do you think one thing that I hear between the lines when I'm talking to people about this is there after the Odyssey closed, there was a gap, a hole, and a missing piece that maybe didn't people didn't really find a new home after that. Like you think about the third space, the third place. Do you feel like you found another place, you and your friends?
I mean, for me, it is basically the Pump Jack, right? Like that's or the Junction. I mean, that place took off really once Odyssey. It took a little while because I remember I was hired to DJ there, Junction. So I was there on Friday nights when it was, honey, you could throw a bowling ball through that room, and then sure enough, as the weeks and the months progressed, more and more people started coming, and then that started to become the place that everyone went to, and and then that's when Pump Jack expanded, and that's when it really took off. I was shocked because it was like, oh, because it used to be that place you would go to where it was like dangerous, it had the underwear pulled up on the ceiling, like what? It's always like strange men in there, like
Oh yeah.
and then it was like, wait a minute, they got a DJ in here now, and
I know. I could not
on
believe
that
it.
dance floor, like this is crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Have you been to Junction recently? Like what's going on there now? Is it fun? What's the crowd like?
well, yeah. So I've gone and I've seen a couple of shows, sometimes on a Thursday or a Friday. I know Hazel has a
Oh
show,
yeah.
and it's just it ain't the Odyssey crowds, right? Or even the Junction crowds of pre-pandemic, right? Like when let's say when Carlotta hosted her show there on Saturdays, like that place was jam fucking packed. And I used to DJ her shows. Um, it would just be packed. And then you go on a Thursday and it's like, well, there's everyone is sitting. There's all the tables are full. Cool, but there's no one. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they're not moving. They're just sitting there and they're not really drinking anymore, so they're just like,
They are definitely not drinking.
yeah.
But girls are out there working that room, the whole space to get all the money, right? Because
It's so
people don't want to
different.
go up to the stage and tip. They just stand there and put
I
their money
know.
in their hand, and then they come to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in some ways the queens do I don't want to say they do more for less, but back then it was so exciting to see a drag show because you couldn't see it on TV. Like you had to go to the
Yeah,
bar to see a really good drag show.
right.
So these people who are going to Junction now have probably watched a million episodes of Drag Race. They've been to drag brunch. So it's just like, they're going to the grocery store and they're seeing things that maybe they've seen, maybe they haven't. But like somebody like Hazel, who's fresh off a season, who's flipping and doing her whatever, looking like a supermodel. But is she getting that like rock star experience that you could have had back in the early 2000s when a club full of people just freaked out because you were the drag queen doing the popular song at the time, you know?
And you know what? And we didn't have to be on a goddamn plane going to God knows how many cities that you've never been to perform in bars you've never been at. And I don't know. I don't think I would even thank you for that. Like, honestly, no, ma'am, that is just not my cup of tea. Like, but I mean, for them for hustling it as much as they do, and it's not easy, but it's definitely 180 from what my experience was.
So seeing Jaylene on Drag Race didn't make you feel like, oh, maybe I need to submit a tape and put my hand, what is it? My name in the hat?
throw my hat in the ring.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, her taste is so elevated.
Mm,
Well, my Amazon Essentials would not cut it on Drag Race. Like, I don't have the wherewithal, the inclination or desire. Like these, I just, you know what? Good for they need to be traveling and getting these gigs because these outfits they're wearing, I can't.
so expensive.
Blows my mind. And
Yeah.
other thing is, they'll spend like maybe maybe let's say $8,000 on a look. Well, that's it. You're only gonna wear it the once, because you can't unless it's
Yeah.
piece in a number or something. But they're having all of these original one of a kind outfits made to be worn once. I just think it's great.
Honey, they got credit card debt, baby. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't. So
I wish. Okay, we need to talk about the little story Carlotta told about replacing you in a show or something
right.
like that.
Yeah, we were having a laugh about it last night. But yeah, so basically what she said is entirely true. So we were flailing with audiences because celebrities up the street had just revamped their Wednesday nights, and Simone was
Oh,
yes, so she was packing it in there, right? So Odyssey, we were competing against that, and they knew they had to do something, and they knew that the show needs some sort of a restructure or reframing or whatever. They knew they sure as hell weren't going to be able to get rid of Justine. They weren't going to do that. They certainly weren't going to get rid of Willie. So what was left?
oh,
Bye, bitch. but and like I said, to her credit, she gave me a call and like when it all went down, and I knew I had been relieved of my post, and she called, and I was like, no, absolutely, girl. Like, I mean, I wasn't. It didn't matter who was going in my spot. I was out, so it didn't matter to me. Like, I wasn't going to be put out hurt by whoever took my place. I mean, that was just a business decision. But we all looked out for each other as mean and catty and vicious, and as we like to pretend that we were back then. Talking shit about. We were all supportive, and we wanted to see everyone succeed, and we would rally and support. That's what we did back then. So
it was a community. You were
yeah,
sisters. Yeah, you were sisters for sure.
absolutely.
What do you remember about the last night of the O?
Ugh. Um, it was frantic. It was hectic. There was so much going on. I remember being in that closing number. I I was surprised. I wasn't as emotional as I thought I was going to be. um, but it was just a night that I'll always remember. Everyone who meant anything to me was there that night, and it was just I for for me, I thought it was a bit ironic. My office where I worked is on Helmkin Street. Helmkin and Howe, that's where I used to work. So, girl, no sooner when that place closed down, I would have to walk down Davie Street and see those excavators tearing
Oh,
every day for at least a month. I was just like, "Meh, meh."
oh, it's
Everyone
so
else
sad.
it, right? So they didn't have to experience the trauma that I went through. So, and I walked there. My gym is still there. So I'm working out in the gym, looking out the window at what used to be the front door of the Odyssey, right? Now it's condos
How often do you think about the Odyssey in your life?
all the time. It's just always there. Like it was so formative.
Ugh, I
And
just
bad for some of the younger kids that they don't have that type of place
They'll
and
never know.
want it. Maybe they don't want it.
You don't know what you don't have. Like
Yeah.
I did meet somebody who was like 20 early 20s recently, and he was explaining Grindr for the first time and how I was talking about when I went to the bar for the first time in Calgary, 18, all of the older guys were like, touching me everywhere. And it was like, I wanted to go to the gay bar to dance to Britney, but like I was not expecting the sexual side, which is kind of naive in retrospect. But he was saying that was him on Grindr, like you going on to meet people, but you're suddenly, the dick pics or like the fucking I want to fist you. I don't know, whatever. That
Right.
was his like his version of that. And so when he also didn't know what a tabloid was. He did not know what a tabloid was. I was like, girl. Um, so yeah, they don't know what they're missing out on because even though we have clubs, there is no need to physically go and meet people. So yeah, we can see what they're missing, but they're like, yeah,
Well, they're missing out on social for one. Like, I don't know. These kids' faces are just in screens all the time, and
yeah,
the one-on-one interaction. God bless them. I don't know. Like,
yeah.
it must be
Eye
terrible
contact.
out to a bar. I guess some of them are
Hmm.
such anxiety. Like, I can't imagine how overwhelming it might be to go into a busy club and then not drink self.
And then not drink.
Like,
It's like, come on, girl. Yeah, I know. I talked to somebody yesterday. We were talking about eye contact, and a lot of them it's too much because even though you're talking to people on FaceTime or whatever, you're like face to face is like it's a lot. So I will see. I mean, they're in their 20s now. They'll be in positions of power soon enough, and
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
they're in my prayers.
Not mine, bitch. I'm just praying for the Odyssey.
Yeah,
Um, But
yeah.
you know what? Thank you for coming on the show, Robyn. I'm so happy that you shared some of your stories and insight into how things have evolved. And by the way, I'm planning on doing a night out in the next few weeks. So I'll let you know, and maybe we can plan to intercept at the
Yeah.
Pump Jack.
Well, if it's a Friday, for sure.
Yeah. You don't do Saturdays at all?
Well, here's the thing. I need at least 2 full days. Like, even
Yeah, got it.
home, Monday is still a struggle after going out on a Friday. Isn't that terrible? Oh,
You
God.
know what? We'll figure it out. I'm hoping that through these shows we build like I said this to Carlotta, like some kind of reunion. It maybe sounds cheesy, but I think there's a lot of people that would just like to be in the same room again,
Yeah.
like a high school or something. There's a lot of people that I want to talk to that who would you recommend that I talk to actually?
Well, obviously, Joni. She's like
Yeah.
the Odyssey. So get her while you can. I don't know. Some of the other girls that were came up after us, like well, there's um, Ray Sunshine, or Camille. She's still working, doing bingo down at the junction. So
Oh my God. I messaged her. She didn't fucking respond.
she's kind
Camille.
of.
Yeah, she is. She totally is.
But yeah, I would maybe like as we called them, the younger generation, the ones that were
Yeah.
at mine and Carl's and Vivian von Brokenheimen's heels, the Camille Toes and the Christina
That's
Cash.
like me. Christina. Oh my God, Christina Cash Kip. Yes. I did message Kip. I messaged. Now that I'm looking at Camelto, actually, I didn't. I thought I messaged her, but that was from 2014. So maybe I was dreaming. Joni, yes, I'm gonna get her hopefully on the show. What about like bartenders or party people that you remember?
God, well, I mean, I think Carl mentioned Stevie, right? And
Yes.
but I mean, as far as bartenders, I mean, I don't even know where any of them are. We just, fortunately, sadly, we just lost English.
I know. I did I so I've been seeing that. I don't remember English. I looked on our Facebook
He
we
probably
didn't.
wasn't working at Odyssey at that time. I don't think.
Yeah.
He was another person that was big when I moved. It was him, and there was Jason Dean was a bartender there. I think he lives in on the island now. And Peter, he works downtown. I think at the one of the grocery stores downtown. But
I know who you're talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, I know
Peter.
who you're talking about.
I mean, he was like one of the longest working, but he was there on the last night too. But I usually didn't go to Peter for drinks because he poured a 1 ounce shot. That was it. One measured, bitch, measured. No more.
He's the only
No,
one.
no
That's not an
spillage.
odd.
No spillage. So I'd always go to another because they would just be like, "Mm."
I was gonna say that's not very Odyssey style to measure the alcohol, Peter. Like, come on, come on.
Hope he doesn't hear that. But yeah.
I'm gonna send it directly to him. Okay, well, thank you for coming on. It was a blast, and I will see you at Pump Jack.
All right. Absolutely.